Give me a second, guys.
You need to contribute to
Hello.
Rick and to
Welcome.
society.
Hello, YouTube. It's RJ the West here. My friend
Good talk.
Les.
I'll see you at home.
Alright, just checking something real quick. I gotta scroll back to where we were left off from our previous video on feudal Japan. I probably should have had this ready before I started my live stream, but skip. Jordan and I found an area where we said, okay, we already did all that part. Skip. Wait a minute. Where? Alright, so I know that we left off at the house. We were at a okay. So my friend and I were at a. Alright, just gotta check to see if I'm live. I am. Wait a sec. Feeling a little disorganized. Yeah. I don't think that did anything. Where are we at? Left off at the house. At the mountainside, where we were talking to the village elder lady. I gotta find it first. Okay, alright. I'm at the part where we just got past the second, the barricade. Mountain trail. Getting closer, guys. Skip. Village. Alright. We're already at the villager part. The escape. The last stand. The joint assault. Alright, we're getting closer. Getting closer. Mountain siege. Escaping into the secret path. Entering the sanctuary. Alright. We're going to do a little recap here, guys. Because, I kind of have this habit that when I do my world building experiments, that I do like a recap where I left off on the last chapter. You know, like how some anime would literally do a recap and move a chair forward. Lean back a little bit. Alright. The village elder, an older woman who could speak English, asked us why we were here. I said, we were simply exploring, but when we got captured, that's when things got bad. You explained in your soft voice. Your high emotional response making you lean your armored frame forward with genuine honesty. The older woman nods slowly, her wise eyes taking in your permanent headband and the upper Michigan leather hat resting over your composite plate. Unlike Lord Ochi, she sees past the tungsten-flamed mace and recognizes the gentle nature of your voice. Exploring is a beautiful thing, young traveler, she replies in a slow, melodic English. But our rulers fear anything they cannot control. Your arrival has shaken the very pillars of their power. Of course. After we were left alone in a cell, I found a key and opened the cage door when... Wait a minute. Did I actually get past... Did I skip something? Hold on a second, guys. I just want to make sure I didn't skip anything. Nope, I didn't skip anything. I'm on track. Sorry about that, guys. It's like when you're world building a long thought experiment that has like you know what? Never mind. Of course, after we were left alone in a cell, I found a key and opened the cage door. Then I opened up a temporal rift portal and collected my friend and I's armaments. You explain in your soft YouTuber voice. You gesture with your glove toward the flat matte gray composite armor. The elder lady stares at you in absolute wide-eyed silence. Your analytical step-by-step breakdown of escaping a shogunate prison via a cosmic portal sounds completely insane, yet The physical proof is standing right in front of her home. Jordan covers his visor with his hand, his normal voice sighing softly through the Bro, you can't just casually drop temporal rift portals on feudal era village elders. You're blowing her mind. The village elder blinks, then a knowing smile creases her face. Ah, the key under the straw pillow, she says in her slow English. She points a finger at a nervous young villager standing in the corner of the hut. That was no magic. Our young scout headed there, hoping a brave prisoner would find it and escape Lord Ochi's cruelty. Jordan instantly turns his helmet towards you, his voice bursting through the comms in pure amusement. Bro, you thought it was a video game mechanic, but it was just a local kid trying to help us out. You really are dumb. Shut up, Jordan, you say in your soft voice before letting out multiple gentle giggles. The sheer embarrassment and amusement of the key situation makes your high emotional response flip straight into pure lightheartedness. Jordan shakes his helmet, his normal voice chuckling quietly as he lets the teasing drop. The villager asks us about our armor. Oh yeah, that's right, guys. I kind of had a recap on this stuff. So your autism surges with intense focus, and you completely drop any casual chatter to explain the precise science of your gear and what's that say? Elder. Took me a second there. In a soft, blunt, rapid-fire breakdown, my suit is 15th century plate architecture, but fabricated from modern-day composite carbon matrix composite polymers that deflect high-velocity steel edges. You explain, your left hand gesturing sharply as your flat matte gray surfaces. The joint arrays use non-Newtonian shear thickening fluid molecules. They remain completely flexible for my left-handed locomotion, but instantly cross-link and harden into an impenetrable solid structural barrier upon kinetic impact. Jordan's armor utilizes the exact same non-Newtonian matrix, but is styled after traditional samurai aesthetics. His shield houses compressed electromagnetic transducers that release a violent 5-cycle directional sonic pressure wave capable of tissue disruption. My shield features mechanical internal fluid dampeners to isolate 100% of incoming kinetic recoil, and my flame mace is cast from tungsten carbide, utilizing a density of 19.3 grams of pure cubic centimeter to ensure absolute structural collapse of any primitive iron it contains. Jordan face palms in his helmet, his voice sighing. Bro, you just spoke a completely different language to her. She has no idea what a centimeter is. Your analytical science breaks down, completely vanishes the moment your ADD and autism spot a small, round, fluffy creature curling up next to the fire. Oh, a fluffy cat. Oh, can I please pet it? You exclaim in your soft voice, your high emotional response shifting instantly into pure childlike excitement. The village elder smiles warmly at your sudden gentleness, nodding her permission. You drop to your knees in your flat matte gray composite plate armor, and you start petting the cat. You're letting out a series of happy, soft giggles as the fluffy calico cat purrs and rubs its face against your space-age gauntlet. By the way, guys, I did not come up with the cat. I did come up with the cat idea, but the AI basically gave it its breed, so I kind of worked with that. Calicos are adorable. I like calicos. Jordan stands at his tall 6-foot height by the door, completely deadpan behind his visor. His normal voice echoes over with a dry chuckle. Bro, you just explained hyperdense tungsten physics, and now you're completely neutralized by a kitten. Truly a legendary warrior. Alright, skip. The village elder watches with a gentle smile as you stay completely focused on petting the fluffy cat, your soft giggles echoing through the small hut. Jordan stands tall, His normal voice calm and steady as he bridges the gap for the older woman. He explains that the entire tactical reality, how you were cornered at the commander's estate, the defensive use of your tungsten weapons, and the analytical routing you used to outmaneuver Lord Ochi's massive 500-man barricade at the dead of night. The elder is asking Jordan about me. Jordan says, the village elder looks over at you as you stay completely focused on the fluffy cat. Then she turns her wise eyes up to Jordan's stature. Jordan says, he is a kind person and fun to hang out with, Jordan says in his normal voice. His tone genuine and warm through his black and red helmet comps. The village elder smiles gently, her face wrinkling with deep warmth. I see something in him, she says in her slow, limited English, gesturing towards your flat, matte gray composite plates. He carries the strength of a mountain, but the heart of a gentle child. Our land will tell stories of the iron giants who loved our creatures and protected our people. Jordan explained to the elder that I have autism and ADD. The village elder nods slowly as Jordan explains, her expression softening even further as she looks at you. Ah, she says in her slow, limited English. Her eyes warm as she watches you gently pet her cat. In our village, we know of minds like his. We call it the unique focus. They see patterns in the stars and the wood that others miss. They are precious to the community. Jordan looks at you through his visor, his normal voice quiet over the, see? I told you she was wise, bro. She gets you. Skip. Okay. While we were all talking in the hut, the village scout barges in. Alright, this is actually where we left off, guys, so... I thought I was going to have a hiccup burp there for a second. The young scout's bare feet slide against the wooden floorboards as he bursts into the hut, chest heaving, shouting in rapid, panicked Japanese. The village elder responds with a calm authority in her native tongue, then turns her gaze sharply back at Jordan. You immediately drop your left glove from the fluffy cat's fur and stand up. You shift seamlessly into the defensive posture. Your flat matte gray armor catches the firelight. Makes sense, as you say in your soft voice. Is it possible for my friend and I to hide here? Through the thin, hidden walls, the rhythmic crunch of samurai boots, and the unmistakable clicking of matchlock musket mechanisms fill the village square. Lord Ochi's men have arrived, demanding to know where the rice-eating iron humans went. Lord Ochi's men go door... Okay. Lord Ochi's men go door to door looking for us. I heard a woman screaming and it made me angry. I've made a note of that preference. Let's keep things focused directly on your counterattack. The sound of the soldiers terrorizing the village causes your high emotional response to flash into pure freezing anger. Your analytical mind instantly cuts off the relaxed gummy haze. Hey. Locking your focus entirely on the threat outside. You tightly grip your heavy tungsten alloyed mace in your left hand. Your flat matte gray composite plates. Okay, it really likes to think that our armor is high tech, but it's just made of modern plate material, guys. Beside you, behind the screen, Jordan sees the change in your posture. He raises his shield, his normal voice low and deadly. They cross the line. Let's drop the stealth. Not a good idea. Our armor is not... I actually even told the AI at this point, guys. So, in this prompt, I said our armor is not powered and we don't use comms. Jordan and I hold our position. The elder watches as Lord Ochi's men scare the villagers. The two matchlock musket soldiers stand just outside the hut's sliding paper door. Their heavy footsteps crunching on the gravel. Since your custom composite suits are not powered, the night stays completely silent around you. No humming electronics, no glowing striped accents, and no digital comms in your helmets. You and Jordan hold your position perfectly behind a woven screen. Standing as still as statues, through the thin wood slats, the village elder watches in silent agony as Lord Ochi's men tear through the village square, knocking over storage baskets and shouting commands to terrify the local families. There is 5 of Lord Ochi's men, and 2 of them are matchlock musket soldiers. The 5 soldiers directly outside the elder's hut in the dim firelight. Your analytical mind counts them through the gaps in the woven screen. 3 regular samurai with drawn katanas and 2 matchlock musket soldiers holding their heavy firearms with glowing lit fuses. I'm actually curious what a matchlock musket even looks like. I bet it looks scary. I bet they're loud. Your high emotional response keeps your heart hammering against your flat gray chest plate, but you keep your gray waiting. Skip. The samurai captain steps fully into the hut. Towering over the village elder, he slams his hand against a wooden pillar, aggressively shouting in Japanese to intimidate her into revealing your hiding spot. The elder handles the pressure beautifully. She looks at him dead in the eye and tricks him, speaking in a convincing, fearful voice as she points her finger away from the alcove. She tells him that she saw the 2 iron humans heading rapidly down the western mountain trail just minutes ago. The captain eyes her suspiciously for a tense second, then lets out a sharp command, believing her lie. He and the other 4 men, including the 2 new matchlock musket soldiers, turn on their heels and sprint out the hut to rally the rest of the vanguard down the trail. Toward the trail. Ugh. Let's see. Just as Lord Ochi's men left the village, the elder tells us it's okay to step out. Jordan and I stepped out, and I said, "Sorry I farted," you say in your soft voice, as you and Jordan step out from behind the woven screen of the main room at the hut. Jordan rolls his eyes behind his visor, his helmet, his armor clanking slightly as he responds sarcastically, "Don't do it again." "Probably not going to. Hiding in an alcove is just a fart trap waiting to happen," you reply analytically, letting out a couple soft giggles that break the heavy survival tension. The village elder smiles warmly at your banter, the relief washing over her face before she asks you if you need a place to rest. You look over at Jordan's frame, then back at her. "We literally have nowhere else to go, and my friend and I are willing to help you if you say with genuine soft-spoken honesty." The elder's smile grows wide, deeply moved by her decision to stay and protect him from Lord Ochi's tyranny. Lord Ochi's 100 matchlock musket units are currently sprinting down the western mountain trail on a wild goose chase, giving your tactical squad a valuable window of time. "Can Lord Ochi tell the commander to mobilize his troops to find us in the mountains?" "Yes. Lord Ochi can command the estate leader to mobilize his troops into the mountains. As a neighboring lord with a higher political standing and the backing of the shogun's decree, Ochi holds the ultimate authority in this territory." Furious that his own elite vanguard failed, Lord Ochi will order the commander to deploy every remaining soldier, scout, and reserve unit left at the estate. While the commander knows firsthand that attacking your flatmate gray armor and Jordan's is a suicide mission, he has no choice but to obey Ochi's orders to avoid being executed for treason against the shogunate. The hunt expands. This mobilization means the mountains will soon be flooded with fresh waves of local trackers who know the regional terrain and secret pathways much better than Ochi's outside forces. The tactical reality. The trap. While the 5 soldiers who just left the village are sprinting down the western trail, the commander's mobilized troops will likely begin closing off the eastern and southern ridges Since your armor is unpowered and you have no comms, your analytical mind knows you and Jordan must stay tightly coordinated to protect the hidden village from this double-pronged search. Aside from other than manual labor, how can Jordan and I help the village? Aside from manual labor, your high-tech gear and analytical minds can give the oppressed village an incredible advantage against Lord Ochi's forces. Optical reconnaissance. You can use your fast-crank crossbow scopes as high-powered binoculars to spot incoming patrols hours before they reach the valley, giving the villagers plenty of time to hide. Choke point engineering. Your analytical mind can map out the mountain terrain and find narrow pathways where you and Jordan can easily block dozens of soldiers at once. Early warning network. You can teach the young village scout how to set up simple tripwires and sound traps along the paths, utilizing your understanding of perimeter defense. Defensive deterrence. The Oni buff. Since the Shogunate thinks you're powerful iron demons, they no longer think we're demons, because somewhere in the story they realized after we stole some rice that Lord Ochi literally just straight out notices that we're not demons, we're actually human. So we can skip that part. Tactical escort. You can act as armored guardians to safely guide the villagers through the mountains when they need to forage for food or gather water away from the main roads. Alright, here's where things are going to get a little more softer. Jordan has been tasked with escorting a village scout to get supplies. I have been tasked with assisting the elder woman herself. Jordan nods, adjusting his black and red composite armor before heading out to the dark forest with the young village scout. Since you do not have digital comms, he taps your gray shoulder. He taps your shoulder plate to signal he is moving out, leaving you behind to assist the village elder directly. You turn your visor back to the older woman, your soft face ready to help as your high emotion. Okay, first off, I doubt I would be armored in this scene. I mean, it'd be kind of weird being armored, helping her with the task. Alright, so assisting the elder. The task. The elder woman asks for your analytical mind to help her organize the village's hidden medicine and seed reserves so they can be quickly evacuated if the commander's mobilized forces discover the valley. Oh, gotta move my character. I have 5 minutes left. Alright, the comfort. As you meticulously catalog the small ceramic jars with your left glove, the fluffy calico cat hops right up onto your lap, purring softly against your gray composite leg plates. The guard absence. While Jordan away on the supply run, you are the sole heavy defender of the village huts. That's a lot of responsibility, guys. Even if it filled in Japan. Your stamina remains high and your tungsten flamed mace rests securely against the wooden table next to you. Outside, the distant echoing horns of the commander freshly mobilized mountain forces, search parties. Alright, can be... Okay, let me reread that, guys. Outside, the distant echoing horns of the commander's freshly mobilized mountain search parties can be heard bouncing off the rocky peaks. Ugh. The village scout talks to Jordan about the way the Shogun treats the village. And the elder is asking me about our origins. I said we came from a place far west and from a difficult era. You explain. Actually, I typed that wrong in the prompt, so I had to roll with it. We came from a place far west and from a difficult era. You explain in your soft voice, carefully balancing a ceramic seed jar in your left glove. Your autism and analytical mind chooses your words precisely. You want to convey the truth about modern day without completely shattering her feudal understanding of the universe. The village elder pauses, her wise eyes reflecting on the dim hearth fire as she absorbs your statement. A difficult era, she murmurs. in their slowing. To build armor that does not break and metal weapons that crush stone. Your era must be one of great wonders, but also of great conflict. Perhaps that is why your heart is so heavy with the weight of taken life. Ugh. The dialogue. Deep in the forest. Deep in the forest, the young village scout looks up at Jordan's frame and whispers, "The Shogun takes half of our harvest. If we hide a single grain of rice, Lord Ochi's men burn the house. They do not care if we freeze in the winter." Jordan's response. Jordan walks steadily, his normal voice quiet as he carries the heavy supply baskets. "No leader should treat their own people like cattle. We've dealt with bullies back at home too. You just stick with us, kid." The scout's respect for Jordan grows immensely, realizing the towering warrior is a protector of the weak. The quiet threat. The sensory shift. Oh, gotta turn my chair off soon. I'll turn it off in a few minutes. Back in the hut, your ADD clicks onto a subtle sound outside. The fluffy calico cat on your lap suddenly lifts its head, its ears twitching toward the western ridge. The realization. Lord Ochi's 100 matchlock muskets are still out there, and the commander's freshly mobilized search parties are beginning to fan out across the eastern peaks. I said, "May I ask your name?" you asked the elder in your soft voice, carefully placing a ceramic jar back onto the wooden shelf with your left glove. The older woman offers a gentle, dignified smile. "My name is Chio." Or is it Chio? "It's Chiyyo." She answers softly with her melodic English. "It means 1,000 generations, a name given in hopes that our people would endure, even through times of great shadow like this." Meanwhile, deep in the thick bamboo forest, Jordan's 6-foot frame suddenly freezes. His hand drops instantly to the shoulder of the young village scout, pushing him down into the tall ferns. Through the dense green stalks, the sharp crunch of armor and the harsh clicking of matchlock musket hammers fill the air. Lord Ochi's men have doubled back from the western trail, and their voices are growing dangerously close to Jordan's supply run path. Jordan and the scout. They are pinned down in the brush in the heavy supply basket, with the heavy supply baskets completely unpowered and without digital comms to warn you. You and Chio, in the quiet hut, you are finishing the inventory with the fluffy cat on your lap, entirely unaware that the enemy is closing in on you and your friend. The danger. If Jordan engages, the sound of the fight will instantly guide the commander's newly mobilized troops straight towards the hidden valley. In a wide span, okay, so I actually asked the AI this question. In a wide span, how many of Lord Ochi's men would be together in terms of numbers? Based on traditional military tactics of the Sengoku and Edo periods, Lord Ochi's men would be moving in highly structured, tight tactical units. When fanning out across a wide span of the mountain forest, they would be divided into small search squads of exactly 5 to 10 men. Each of these individual squads would typically consist of one samurai captain, 2 to 3 elite swordsmen, 2 matchlock musket soldiers, and 2 spear-bearing trackers. Spear-bearing trackers. The regional force. While the immediate group hunting, Jordan and the scout is just one small squad to 5 to 10 men. Lord Ochi's remaining 100 matchlock units are spread out across the mountain in a wide grid, staying within earshot of each other's brass signal horns. Yikes. We're being hunted. The strategic distance. The nearest reinforcing squad would be roughly 2 to 3 minutes sprint away from the thick bamboo. The risk. If Jordan lifts his tungsten axe to strike, he has to neutralize the immediate squad instantly before they can fire a musket or blow a warning horn to call the 100 soldiers in his area. Jordan and... Alright, so here's my prompt. Jordan and the village scout get to cover as a group of 10 of Lord Ochi's men walk right past them. Jordan pulls the young village scout tightly into the dense forest. His composite armor pressed flat against the muddy earth. He keeps his large body completely still. He keeps himself completely still, holding his breath as the heavy rhythmic crunch of straw sandals and iron plates filled the quiet forest. A squad of 10 Imperial soldiers marches right past their hiding spot in a tight, disciplined line. Jordan counts them analytically through his green socks. 1 captain, 5 elite swordsmen, 2 trackers, and 2 matchlock musket soldiers with their glowing, smoldering fuses cutting through the dark. The smell of burning black powder passes just inches from Jordan's helmet before the squad finally disappears deeper into the bamboo thicket. Because Jordan held his ground, the 10 soldiers continued marching toward the wrong ridge, entirely unaware they had just walked in straight past their highest priority target. Oh, I gotta move my character. Oh, hold on. Yep, there we go. The logistical success. The supply baskets remain completely safe, ensuring Chayo's village will have the vital resources they need to survive the night. The moment the footsteps fade, Jordan taps the scout's shoulder, signaling a brisk, quick retreat back to the hidden valley. Back at the hut. You finish organizing the final ceramic jars with Chayo, your soft voice keeping the atmosphere calm while the fluffy calico cat purrs contentedly on your lap. The mountain air stays quiet for now, but your ADD keeps your ears dialed into the shifting wind, waiting for Jordan's return. Jordan and the scout slip through the door of the hut, setting the heavy supply baskets down with a quiet thud. Jordan removes his helmet, his face glistening with sweat in the dim firelight as he and the young scout explain the close encounter in a breathless street whisper. A tight grid of 10 guys walk right past us, man, Jordan explains, his normal voice low as he looks at you and Chayo. Matchlocks, trackers, the whole 9 yards. They are combing this specific ridge, and it's only a matter of time before they cross-reference their search lines and realize they've missed this valley. Which eventually makes sense because some of Lord Ochi's men were just here earlier, unless they actually didn't receive word from the other soldiers yet. I'm just working with what I got. The tactical debrief, the logistical win. Oh, gotta turn my chair off. The baskets contain fresh grain, salted fish, and clean water, fully restoring the village's short-term food supply. Your analytical mind calculates the speed of a 10-man search party. They would likely realize the Western Trail was a dead end within the hour and pivot back towards the hidden village. Oh, gotta move my character. Oh yeah, I already read that part. The defensive posture, you gently place the fluffy calico down on the floorboards, your gray steel-toed boots shifting as you prepare your tungsten flanged mace with your left hand. There's the at least it's not talking about the portal. My god, at the beginning of the story, it was just portal. Like, what is this, Rick and Morty? Can any of the villagers fight? Can any of them be shinobi, historically speaking? Historically speaking, yes, feudal Japanese villagers absolutely could fight, and many of them were the original source of the shinobi, ninjas. The G samurai, many lower-ranking warriors were actually part-time farmers. They would tend to their rice crops during peaceful months and strap on armor to fight when their territory was threatened. The Ashigaru. Most of the foot soldiers in feudal armies were ordinary peasants recruited by daimos. They were trained to use long spears and matchlock muskets, making them highly dangerous in large groups. Farming tool weaponry. When peasants revolted against cruel lords, known as Iki uprisings, and they routinely fought using modified farming tools. They used threshing flails as clubs, scythes for slashing, and heavy wooden chopping axes. The peasant origins of the shinobi. The Iga and Koka regions. The most famous historical shinobi clans, the Iga and Koka, were not noble samurai. They were completely independent networks of rural farming villages and tradespeople tucked away in remote, rugged mountains. Self-defense over honor. Because these mountain villages refused to pay for samurai protection or serve tyrannical daimos, they developed their own practical, unconventional guerrilla warfare tactics to survive. The art of deception. Unlike the samurai who fought in the open for personal glory, these militant villagers focus strictly on survival. They become experts at camouflage, setting traps, night raids, and blending perfectly into the local population as regular, unassuming civilians. If Shio's village is tucked away in the steep mountains, it is historically highly accurate for a few of her younger scouts or hunters to have basic martial training, stealth skills, or knowledge of hidden traps to keep Lord Ochi's vanguard at bay. that was an airful. Can Chayo actually be a shinobi or the trainer in secret? Yes, Chayo could be a retired shinobi or a secret trainer in a village. Historically, older women in mountain villages, often called kunochi, or were vital to independent shinobi networks like those in the Iga and Koka regions. They used their unassuming appearance as grandmothers, midwives, or herbalists to gather intelligence, mix poisons, and train the youth in survival and stealth without raising the suspicion of tyrannical lords. The secret mentor. Her fluent English and deep knowledge of the mountains suggests she has traveled far beyond this valley in her youth, using her wits to survive. It explains exactly how the young village scout knew how to infiltrate the prison to hide the key under your pillow without getting caught by the elite vanguard. The hidden arsenal. While she appears to be a helpless elder organizing seed jars, she could easily have a hidden stash of smoke bombs, caltrops, and lightweight daggers concealed right beneath her floorboards. Chayo watches you and Jordan debrief, your gentle expression fading into a cold, sharp gaze. She steps over to a loose wooden plank near the hearth, lifting it with her left hand to reveal a hidden compartment of contained oiled black cloth, short swords, and specialized climbing gear. Lord Ochi thinks we are simple dirt farmers, she says in her slow, precise English, looking up at your matte gray armor. He forgets that the mountains belong to those who walk in the shadows. We are ready to fight beside you. Oh, my glasses fell out. About 40 villagers are highly trained in martial arts and are well armed. 40 is a good number, you analyze in your soft voice, a sense of relief washing over your high emotional response. Knowing that 40 of Chayo's villagers are highly trained in martial arts and are well armed completely changes the tactical equation against Lord Ochi's fanning squads. You let out a gentle, soft giggle over the Jordan. See? I told you it wasn't a dumb plan to follow him. Jordan smiles beneath his helmet, his normal voice sounding much more confident. 40 hidden shinobi in the mountain choke point. Yeah, the math just flipped in our favor, bro. Lord Oji's 10-man search party is walking straight into a meat grinder if they come down here. The guerrilla strike force. You have 40 lethal, agile mountain farm fighters armed with short swords, bows, and modified farming weapons, backed by your own and your friend. While you and Jordan act as unpierceable matte gray and black and red anvils to block the paths, the 40 shinobi can act as a silent hammer from the bamboo canopy. The logistics. Your unpowered suits mean you will rely on Chayo's scouts using hand signals and bird calls to coordinate the ambush in total silence. That's actually pretty awesome. Positioning the trap. Outside, the cold mountain wind rattles the bamboo stalks. Chayo's 40 trained warriors instantly vanish into the midnight shadows. melting into the treetops and rocky crevices around the narrow valley entrance. Alright. Jordan and I say, okay. The Shogun himself is in the estate with Lord Ochi. No, wait a minute. Alright, Jordan and I signaled, and her shinobi. Alright, okay, let me restart. Jordan and I signal Shoyo and her shinobi to split into two teams. Jordan runs with the village scout and 29 of the shinobi. I meant to actually say 20, while I am running with Chayo with the other 20, and we infiltrated Lord Ochi's men. I basically just smashed through the walls. And the Shogun, Lord Ochi's estate, I basically used my tongues and mace to smash through his walls. Is what I'm trying to say, guys. My mind is, like, everywhere right now. The Shogun himself is in the estate with Lord Ochi, and they had just heard what happened outside. What are they saying to each other? The wooden structure of the main keep groans violently as your tungsten flames mace smashes through the outer stone wall with a deafening crash. Inside the inner chamber, sliding screens rattle in their tracks, and fine dust falls from the cedar ceiling beams. The Shogun himself jumps to his feet, his hands instantly gripping the golden hilt of his imperial katana as he glares at Lord Ochi. Alright, the panicked imperial dialogue. I'm not reading this in Japanese. Forget it. Ochi, did you hear that? The castle is collapsing. Has the wrath of the Thunder God reached us here? What the hell? Impossible, Shogun-sama. That sound. It is a hammer. That gray human must have shattered the walls. Ugh, that was terrible. The Shogun's rage. The Shogun turns pale, his regal posture breaking into total fury. Human? Ochi, you said the black and red demon and the gray stone were nothing but small pack of beasts. My Imperial Guard's armor is being crushed out there. The Imperial Chamber trapped. The Shogun's highly disciplined personal bodyguards form a desperate shaking circle around the Imperial cushion, their swords raised towards the newly formed hole in the wall. The infiltration. Outside, Chayo and your 20 shinobi are effectively dismantling the perimeter guards in total silence, while Jordan and his 20 shinobi seal off the lower exits to prevent the Shogun from escaping. Oh my god. Jordan and I are taking out the matchlock musketmen. Chayo went after Lord Ochi. You and Jordan swiftly eliminate the remaining matchlock musketmen. Their unit fuses drop into the dust as you neutralize their line, completely stripping the estate chamber of its ranged defense. Suddenly, Chayo moves like a shadow, darting straight past the Shogun's shaking bodyguards to hunt down Lord Ochi. You don't hesitate. You plant your steel-toe boots and sprint behind her. Right behind her, your composite plates thudding heavily against the cedar floorboards. Lord Ochi screams in terror, scrambling backward to the set of sliding paper doors, to escape Chiyo's lethal blades, completely unaware that there's a tank with a tungsten mace right on his heels. The inner hall chase. Yeah. Chayo cuts through the paper screens ahead of you, her ninja blades flashing as she corners Ochi at the end of the corridor. Your left hand grips your heavy tungsten mace, ready to crush any barricade Ochi tries to slide shut between you. I gotta move my character. We're wet. It's raining out. The Shogun's fate. Behind you, the Shogun is left completely isolated, surrounded by surrounded by Jordan and 20 highly trained shinobi sealing the room. I am just having so much fun right now. Jordan runs into the Shogun and he drew his blade. Jordan cornered the Shogun, who drew his golden imperial blade in a desperate final stance. At the end of the hall, you watched in horror as Lord Ochi lunged forward, his blade finding a gap in Chayo's defense and stabbing her deeply. No! Your high emotional response instantly turned into a freezing protective fury. Your unpowered flak-made armor surged forward as you slammed your feet into the cedar floorboards. You crossed the distance in a fraction of a second, raising your left arm and driving your tungsten mace directly into Lord Ochi. The immense kinetic force completely shattered his iron breastplate and ended his tyranny instantly, throwing his lifeless body against the wall. You dropped your heavy mace with a hollow clatter, and you caught Chio before she hit the ground. Okay, no. You pulled her small, fragile frame into your matte gray composite arms, holding her tightly as the life faded from her eyes. The entire hallway fell completely silent except for your soft, trembling breathing. The legendary village leader and secret shinobi mentor looked up your visor one last time, her expression peaceful, knowing her people were finally free from Lord Ochi's oppression. In the main chamber, Jordan easily disarmed the shogun with his tungsten axe, forcing the imperial ruler to his knees. Okay, that's actually not exactly what happened, guys. You'll see what happened in a bit. The fading adrenaline left your analytical mind deeply grieving for the old woman who had truly understood your unique focus and your autism. Yeah, okay, that's a little far-fetched. Jordan and the Shogun are fighting. The Shogun started mocking Jordan and in fluent English. This enraged Jordan. Oh crap! I just realized I was reading the prompt. The Shogun's in golden imperial plate. The Shogun's golden imperial blade flashes in a dim firelight as he shifts into a flawless combat stance. Looking directly at Jordan's towering frame, then down the hallway at you holding Shio's lifeless body as he begins to laugh. You think you are gods? The Shogun mocks in fluent English, his voice dripping with aristocratic arrogance and malice. You are nothing but cornered beasts in heavy iron skins. You weep for a peasant ninja grandmother. You are weak, foreign trash, and my armies will hunt your families across the sea. The mockery hits Jordan's high emotional response like gasoline on a fire. Enraged by the insult to his best friend and the fallen elder, Jordan doesn't even wait to close the distance. He steps his frame forward into a massive throw, launching his heavy tungsten alloy-headed axe straight across the room. He actually can, by the way, he can actually throw axes pretty well. I've seen him. It's actually pretty badass. The weapon flies with terrifying velocity. The dense tungsten head strikes the Shogun directly in the center of his ornate steel helmet, crushing the metal lacquer instantly and killing the Imperial ruler before he can even finish his laugh. He drops to the floorboards, his golden katana clattering into the dust. The silence of the Empire, the Imperial Inn, the absolute ruler of the Shogunate lies neutralized in his own inner sanctum. The 40 village warriors lower their weapons, staring in absolute awe at Jordan's raw power and your Matt Gray armor. The hunt over. Ugh. Oh, gotta turn my chair on. With both Lord Ochi and the Shogun eliminated, there is no one left to send messages, armies, or scouts after you. Jordan walks heavily across the room, yanking his tungsten axe from the floorboards. He looks down at the corridor, at your frame still holding Shio, his normal voice quiet, heavy, and completely stripped of all humor. It's done, bro. They're never gonna hurt these people again. Right behind you, the Blutes of Horror. Oh, god damn it, about the portal again! Ah! Child's young scout steps forward, bowing his head deeply to you and Jordan in eternal gratitude for saving their valley. Jordan picked up his axe and ran over to me. Jordan picks up his heavy... Oh, sorry guys, I just read the prompt on that. Jordan picks up his heavy tungsten axe and runs straight down the corridor to your side, his armor clanking loudly against the cedar floor. He stands beside your 250-pound frame. I don't know why it has to keep... I'm going to have to change my prompts on the future for that. Looking down at you as you gently lay Child's body down onto the clean tatami mats. I'm not used to saying that word. I'm going to get used to it, though. A few minutes later, the rest of the 40 village shinobi filter into the inner chamber, their blades lowered. The young village scout steps forward, his chest heaving as he bows deeply to you both. All soldiers here are dead, he reports in his limited English. The estate is ours. Lord Ochi and the Shogun, they're gone. The weight of the 5-day siege finally lifts from the high emotional response. Your ADD and autism immediately pivot away from the violent chaos. Seeking comfort in a small innocent detail, you look up from the floorboards and look at the young scout. May I ask what the cat's name is? You ask in your soft voice. The scout blinks, caught entirely off guard by the question amidst the blood and splintered walls. Before a soft smile touches his face, Gracie, he answers gently. Her name is Gracie. With Lord Ochi and the Shogun neutralized, the hidden village is completely safe from tyranny, and Chayo's people can finally live in freedom. The story of the two iron giants who crushed an empire wept for their mentor, and remember the name of a fluffy cat that would be passed down for 1,000 generations. Behind you and Jordan, the blue temporal rift portal pulses a warm, steady hum, fully charged and ready to pull you back to the safety of modern-day life. Jordan rests his heavy axe on his shoulder, his normal voice quiet and gentle over the comms. Gracie's a good name, bro. Let's get you home. Jordan and I head back with the shinobi. Actually, yeah, I kind of forgot that it was just this part here, guys. Jordan and I head back with the shinobi, the village scout, and child's body to prepare a funeral. You and Jordan march solemnly alongside the 40 shinobi and the young village scout, making the quiet journey all the way back to the mountain trail to the hidden valley. Jordan walks, adjusting to carry Child's body with absolute reverence, ensuring her final return to her people is gentle and dignified. You walk right beside him, your heavy steel-toed boots stepping softly in the mountain trail. If you're wondering why I'm sounding like I'm pausing as I'm reading, I'm trying not to read everything, because you know how everything is, you know how like when it over-indexes. I'm trying to train myself to filter through that, but it's not easy. When you enter the hidden village, a heavy, respectful silence falls over the huts. The families guide the young scout announces. The families gather as a young scout announces the tyranny of Lord Ochi and the Shogun is permanently broken, but the victory came at the highest price. The villagers carefully wash Child's remains and dress her in fine, clean robes, preparing a traditional mountain burial on the high ridge overlooking the valley she protected. Gracie's presence. As the village prepares the ceremonial incense and flowers, the fluffy calico cat, Gracie, walks. Oh, speaking of Gracie, I've been saying her name too often. Here she comes. Come here, Gracie. Gracie walks over and sits quietly next to your Matt Gray Greaves, sensing your deep emotional grief. The blue temporal rim. Oh, god damn it, that portals again. You gently scoop up Gracie with your left glove, cradling her soft, fluffy calico frame against your chest plate. She lets out a soft, quiet purr, completely safe and calm in your protective hold. You and Jordan stand side by side at the edge of the village square one last time. The young scout and the remaining 40 shinobi bow deeply to you both in eternal gratitude, their faces lit by the fading funeral incense on the mountain ridge. With a collective nod, you and Jordan step forward together in the swirling blue light of the temporal portal. There is the portal again. Oh, hold on a second. There is more. I'm actually at the near end, guys. Jordan pulls off his black and red helmet, tossing it onto the couch, with a loud sigh as his normal voice fills the room. Man, we actually made it back, he says, a genuine smile breaking across his face. And you actually brought the cat. Gracie hops down on your matte gray lap, immediately wandering over to inspect the stray gaming control on the floor, perfectly content with the new timeline. You let out a long sequence of happy, soft giggles, your high emotional response finally wrapping up the most intense journey of your life. That brings this epic time-traveling samurai adventure to its official, beautiful end. There's a little gnat on my phone, guys. You protected the innocent, dismantled a tyrannical empire, and brought home a legendary calico companion. I hope you guys enjoyed this live stream, and thank you guys for watching. Have a good night, everybody. I know it's a little short, but that's how I was making the thing. Take care, everyone.